Welcome everybody, namaste. This is a crazy experience that happened to me decades ago when I was a teenager. It transformed my whole perception of life. When I met this small yogi female wrapped in a white sari, I went from my place to meet her at her house. She came from Mount Abu, and she was coming to New Zealand to help teach us. I was into surfing, I'm still into surfing, but I had my board shorts on and a singlet, and I went to the house and I saw this little white saried Indian yogi, and she put me into the room, and I was sitting opposite, so I was sitting there, she was sitting here, and we started doing meditation. I'd been doing yoga. I was a teenager, but I'd still be doing yoga and meditation for years before this happened. So it was quite interesting. I was still in my ego and attachment, and I was thinking, who is this little Indian yogi that I'm seeing here? And my ego was dominating and stuff like that. The crazy thing is, though, when I started meditating with her in the room went bright white. And I thought somebody had turned the dimmer switch up on the light. That was my logical mind. It was quite funny, guys. It was a crazy experience. So the room went white. Her face became like energy blurred in front of me. I was looking at her face, and I was starting to freak out because I realized that the room was white. Her face was starting to get energized and more blurry, and I was still managing to handle the situation. But to be honest, my ego was going crazy. It was jumping around like a cat on a hot tin roof. You know, on the summer's day, it's got hot, it's jumping around trying to get off the roof. I didn't know what was actually happening. And then this actually transformed my whole perception. What happened was these purple discs, deep magenta purple, started coming from her, one after the other, after the other, after the other, straight through me. When that happened, I physically couldn't move. It was going right through my Anahata chakra. It was mind-blowing. It was infinite. I had tears pouring down my face. I was totally overwhelmed by the experience, just sitting there, unable to move, unable to digest anything. I was totally open to these purple discs coming through me, from her to me. My mind had been totally blown. Everything I'd known had been totally washed away. This whole experience enveloped every part of me. And after it happened, I just sat there stunned in silence, and she smiling at me and said, "Be mindful of your thoughts." And I was just stunned. I could hardly talk. Then she nodded, she stood up, and I gave her a hug, and it was this white light going through the earth, straight through, from above, right through her. And then I jumped into my car, still stunned, trying to process what happened. And years and decades later, I re-engineered and kept on the yogic path from that day, even more so when I was a teenager. And it had a profound effect on my whole path that I took. What it was, years and years later, I discovered was an enlightened being has the power to Shakti part, which is putting her energy to another being with devotional love to help that being evolve on their evolution. By Shakti parting, it's having a huge effect, an enormous effect on that being, and it's like a blessing being given to another person, unconditional love, part of the infinite, acknowledging the part of the infinite that you are and she is. So that had a profound effect on me, guys. It was beyond words, just don't do it justice. It really transformed me from a boy to a being, a spiritual being. It opened me up. It empowered me. But it took me decades to re-engineer and training every single day to realise what actually happened, and the amount of love and intensity that flowed from her to me till this day is beyond anything I can describe, and anything that words or this physical plane can describe. It was just something that happened in my life and was the most profound thing that's happened in my life. More than anything physically, more than anything in my life, it was profound. And it's basically transformed my whole path at that particular time to becoming a yogi, helping others, giving to others along the path. I've run yoga schools, I've written 18 books, I've got a science background from university, but that's all pales in comparison to that one moment I had with that tiny yogic lady, a yogini, and she was a beautiful being. So I hope that this experience that I'm sharing with you is not to brag and not to say that I'm special, because we are all special, we're all infinite beings, the speck of white light that dwells in all of us. But that's just to inspire you to keep walking the path, because there's highs and lows in the path, and you've just got to keep walking that path, keep expanding the consciousness, guys, keep growing, being kind to other people, being kind to all animals, being mindful of your impact on the planet, being mindful on saying harsh words to people or derogatory comments about people, staying in lifting your vibration every day, growing yourself like opening up the petals of a lotus and being able to absorb more light into your being is what it's all about, or more prana or more chi, the ability to increase the amount of prana you can take into your system by doing asanas, pranayama, meditation. It's the alignment with the field, with the creator energy. So I hope this has inspired you all, guys. It was a crazy, mind-blowing experience, and I wish you well on your path. And it's boop, subscribe, guys, thumbs up. It's lovely to have you all here, and I really appreciate every single one of you, and it's beautiful to see you tuning in. So lots of love, guys. Namaste. Bye for now.